everybody, and welcome to episode... I forgot what episode we're on.
You're blown! 8! It's in the plan!
I forgot. I don't have it pulled up. Welcome to episode 8 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo woo!
My name is Luke, and with me as always is my immaculate co-host.
Wow!
Yeah, I gave you a good one this time.
Oh, as I deserve.
My co-host Wolfie. I didn't say her name.
Just the immaculate.
Wolfie, as always. Dude, they don't even need an introduction, let's be honest.
They know me by now. They know you by now.
They know
us.
us.
Don't, what are you doing?
Why are you watching this episode without watching other ones? You're blowing it now.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, no Rainie this week. She's, some of you know, she works for a ski resort, and, you know, this time of year they're very busy.
Of course, all the snow comes down.
Yeah, all the snow and where we are.
Snow and vigor.
I was gonna say where we are, but I don't remember if we mentioned that, so keep it on the same. Yeah, I'll just, I don't remember. East Coast.
A place that snows.
Yeah, a place that snows and not a ski resort, so you could narrow it down from there. Thanks for tuning in. If you didn't catch last week's episode, it was a good one. You missed out.
You sure did.
Me stalling for time so I can bring up my notes. We talked about Arcane, Netflix's Arcane, excellent series. We're still talking about it.
Can't stop. No one
it's
can.
it's just too good. We also brought back the Reddit hypothetical where we talked about it fighting a giant sperm. Really, table talk among cultured people.
Yeah,
And we had Rainie's question, as always, about becoming an NPC in your favorite pop culture or gaming world. It was a pretty fun episode.
What a great episode it was. And this one's going to be even greater.
Yeah, they actually, every episode just scales.
Exponentially.
Wow, that's pretty generous. I was going to say more like a staircase, but wow, really.
Exponential staircase. Only some people can walk up it.
It just starts looping. It goes so high, it just starts to curl over and continue.
It's like one of those visual things.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
the spirals that optical illusion.
Oh yeah. That's the word.
Yeah. It just what a great way to describe our episode, an optical illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This week, this episode is also a banger, like we said. We're gonna be talking about Fortnite because there's a whole hubbub of things to mention there.
We're sellouts now.
Yeah, we appeal to the masses. We're also gonna be bringing back our little show and tell, where we're gonna be talking about our 3 most memorable games, and then we'll finish it off with a question from Rainie, even though she's not here. She phoned ahead, gave us the question.
Deeds.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Wolf, why don't you tell the people that have been living under a rock that don't know what it is, what Fortnite is?
If you haven't heard of Fortnite, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Even if you don't like it, even if you don't even play games, everyone has heard about Fortnite. And if not Fortnite, you've heard about Ninja, who was the Fortnite guy.
He shot himself in the foot.
He kind of did.
Anyway,
yeah,
we're not here to talk about him.
We're here to talk about Fortnite and only Fortnite.
Sounds like an ad read.
Free advertisement for Epic Games.
Yeah, that's what they need.
Fortnite is a Battle Royale game that came out in a whole bunch of years ago.
Yeah,
and
many.
It's been making an exponential rise. That's my word of the day.
That is true though. That part is true. Exponential, very true.
I've been pretty out of the loop on Fortnite, though I have known it existed, and I didn't quite understand why it was so big the way it is. And then I finally sat down and watched a lore video, and I'm like, wow, there's really a lot going on here. No wonder everyone's into it.
I think that we'll touch on that in a second. I think that's an interesting point. First, why don't we talk about our history with Fortnite? Because it's
history.
You had to remind me what it is not what I thought it was between us.
Oh yeah.
So I used to play Fortnite on controller, not PC, with another friend of ours. Starting around season 2, we played straight through almost season 4, a little bit of season 5. This was before chapters existed. So this is like chapter, I guess they labeled it as chapter 1, I guess. Yeah. I don't remember. The first couple years it came out, basically. Chapter 4. Then we kind of like sporadically played it. A little bit of season 6, a little bit of season 9. And after that, I lost count. And I thought around season 4 was when Wolf started playing with us, but I was horribly mistaken. When did you start playing? It
had to be like season 10, I think. It was like the middle of chapter 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what was going on, but a lot of cool stuff happening.
Yeah. And so right, so we've been kind of playing it sporadically on and off. We return to it every now and then. It's like a break game when we want something new, something exciting. Or most of the time it's when we see something funny on Twitter that we want to look into, which is almost always what it happens.
Yeah, and this time it was the Naruto skins.
Right, yeah. So why don't we... You kind of mentioned it. I don't know how much of the in-game lore exists besides what they can perceive on the map, right? I don't think... And they have some cutscenes as you load the game up and stuff like that, but it turns out the Fortnite lore is hella deep.
Incredibly.
And it's kind of like the executive team did several lines of cocaine and just wrote down every single idea. Like, it was... Nothing was turned down.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they had some interns write a few things about it. They had the pizza delivery guy get a few lines in there. So nothing was turned away.
You threw it at the wall. If it didn't stick, they taped it up for you.
Yeah. Yeah, they made it stick is a good point. No matter if it was said, it was in the game.
Yeah. Now, there also seems to be I guess side comics too.
Yeah, which I did not realize.
Yeah.
Fortnite has its own comics that branch into other existing comics, which we'll get into. But Wolf, why don't you give us like a reasonable brief rundown? Because there's, if you want a detailed rundown, go to YouTube.
Yeah.
That's where we went.
We won't shout out anyone specific. We're not getting paid.
Yeah, no, we're not doing ads. If you want to get shout out, hit us up.
Exactly.
But yeah, Wolf, give us a reasonable rundown.
So Fortnite, there's this island, Fortnite Island, that people drop down into to do battles every day. They've got a whole lot of stuff going on, and they've got the
Yep.
They've got the 0 point, which is the thing powering the island. We have multiple factions coming and going, fighting for it, fighting against it, trying to harness the power for themselves. We've got the thing called the Fortnite Metaverse, not related to Facebook's stupid metaverse. This one's much more cooler.
We'll gotta do an episode on that.
I feel there's nothing to do an episode on. What is it?
We're gonna have Zuckerberg come on.
Then what a crossover that would be. Then we introduced the Marvel characters and all the other real people and fictional characters brought into Fortnite Island that are completely canon to its world.
Yeah, so I want to expand on that really quickly. Essentially, Fortnite, if anything appears in the game with as a skin, as a cosmetic skin, it is canon within the lore of Fortnite.
Yeah.
So that includes, we'll probably touch back on this again, but things from Cuphead, Naruto, Dark Phoenix, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, Stranger Things, and more. Actual people like Major Lazer, Marshmallow, and Ninja. And then there's also a John Wick kind of cameo, and more coming.
Yeah.
As well.
And
so they're all canon within... Basically every crossover that Fortnite's had is canon within its own lore.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to kind of make that very clear, because I think it's one of the most ridiculous parts about it.
It's so much fun. You know what else is fun? You know what else is fun? No. Maybe for you, freak. Epic Games has gone ahead and made a lore for why the Fortnite Battle Royale portion happens. Basically, Fortnite Island is trapped in a time loop that everyone who shows up to this island, not only their memories from before they entered the island slowly erase, they're looping constantly in this battle, and at the end of each loop, one person gets to escape the loop and go back to their universe.
Right, and that's canonically like the win when you win a game of Fortnite. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And so I'll touch on this later, but yeah, that's what it is. Go ahead. Sorry.
I wonder what happens when you're a team. If only one person can go and you worked as a team, then just fuck off. Who gets to go?
You just flip a coin.
Oh, what? Hate it. Rock, paper, scissors.
You have to play again. It's like a meta game. You have to play again as a solo queue, and whoever gets the first solo queue, that's who gets to live from the squad.
I see.
Yeah,
game within a game.
Yeah. It's a loop within a loop.
Oh yeah. And now, most recently in the Fortnite lore, you've got these giant cubes, aka Kevins, that have crashed down onto the battlefield, as well as the great blue Blevin.
I'm gonna stop you there again. Sorry for interrupting, but I have so much to add.
Okay, keep going.
Kevin, by the way, I went back to it with my friend when Kevin was first introduced. We were actually in the game unknowingly when the event was happening. We didn't know it was a thing because again, we just came back to it after not playing for a while.
Right.
It was just called the Cube, and then literally the community started calling it Kevin. And so Fortnite adopted the name.
I love that.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought that was a little fun anecdote.
And then there was the Golden Cube, which had a countdown, which eventually became the strange person that was sitting at the top of the pyramid I attempted to land on, but could not handle when we actually played the game.
The Piss Cube.
Yeah, the Piss Cube. And whatever's happening with that mysterious floating person is what is going to be the end of Chapter 2.
Which is pretty soon by the time you're hearing this.
It'll have already happened by the time you've done this.
Oh, right,
but
yeah.
More on that later.
Slightly after, but yeah.
But yeah, Fortnite. It's the way they're doing their in-game lore is really cool because it's like an actual living game, unlike the games of service people call living games, where players not only for just these canonical events, you can show up for these events and experience them in real time. They do performances, digital concerts.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Fortnite was the first big game to do actual concerts within their own game. They set up a spot on the island. Well, I guess it's a little different now than the very first one.
Yeah.
But now they have a party island where you can all go to. It's not hostile. You can't kill anybody like you can in the game. And they just have a big projector, and it's kind of like going to an actual concert in person. It's pretty sweet. We did one. I don't remember who it was, but
yeah, it was someone Japanese, a Japanese music maker.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was the guy that wears the weird creepy mask headpiece thing.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, they do. They know the whole. They were probably there with us.
Yeah,
party.
I never would have known.
Oh, they recognize my name.
I guess.
But Fortnite was also one of the, at least as far as I know, the first game to do canonical within game, but also progressive events. You could go onto a place. You could go in game onto a map. You could go in game to a location on their map, and witness something happen in real time.
Yeah, that's cool.
And when we say that, it means the event. Say if you're Eastern Standard Time, it would happen at 4 p.m. You would have to be in game, inside a game. You can't just be in a lobby, and you would have to go to this location at 4 p.m. it would play in every server that was hosting a game at that time.
Yeah.
And it would happen live. It was really kind of groundbreaking and really cool.
Yeah, so I think at first they were just like cutscenes that you got to experience like in real time, but and with the specifically the Kevin the Cube, one of the Kevin the Cube events where you're up inside the alien ship, there was like an actual activity for the players to do to move the story forward.
Yeah.
There was even a trigger for the story to continue where the players had to go touch the sort of dead Kevin, and it turns blue and starts the next sequence of events.
Yeah, and the very first one, at least as I'm aware, was really basic. It was a rocket out of a silo on top of a mountain.
Ah, yeah.
And then the rocket flew and hit one of the. I think it hit a city or something.
It was aimed at Tilted Towers, but the
which is a location in game.
Yeah, a location in game, but a really important guy called the Visitor, redirected it towards, I believe, the sky, and that's what caused the cracks that
the shatter and everything like that.
Yeah,
and it was really basic, but now they're, like you said, they have mini game sort of thing, and they're pretty advanced. They're pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
I know. Fortnite's a touchy subject for people, but I am under the impression that Fortnite is an incredible game, especially partially because of it's free.
Yeah.
But how well it actually works for it being a free game, there's very little lag or problems with it on most platforms. It looks great. There's a lot to do. And I think a lot of the hate from Fortnite mostly comes from the stigma of its audience being, younger generation that, it kind of just creates this stigma and aura about it. But if you look at it as an actual game, and regardless of the bad vibes people give it, I think it's quite a good game. I don't play it all the time. In fact, I wouldn't even say I play Fortnite. We come back to it every now and then as just something fun to do, like we said. But I'm like an outside fan.
Same.
I think it's really impressive what they're doing.
You can call it cringe all you want, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun. And if you're anti-fun, you don't have to participate. But I mean, objectively, they do some really cool things, and you can't deny that.
Exactly, and they're also, even if you don't think those are cool, that's whatever. But it is groundbreaking, and if you're a fan of video games, you should be. Well, I think you should be a fan of what they're doing, because they're kind of paving the way for new things in video games, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Something I mentioned before that we're going to circle back to now that we got the deep lore out of the way, was one of the, and this kind of touches on maybe, excuse me, some of the stigma behind it, is that I think the best way to play Fortnite, not counting if you're a true hardcore fan or a streamer to doing it for making a living or what have you, but if you're not a huge fan of Fortnite, play it and don't take it seriously. Play it to have fun and goof around with friends. Definitely play it with people. That's way more fun.
Yeah.
So play it in squads, which is the game mode when you can have multiple people, and don't take it seriously. Play it just to have fun, like you're 10 years old and you don't care what the outcome is. You're just happy to have a video game that you can play with your pals.
Exactly.
And that's kind of why we always return to it every now and then, and I think that's the best way to do it.
If Fortnite had come out when I was in high school and they released these Naruto skins, I'd be all over it.
Yeah. Well, you're over it now.
I am over it. I haven't played Fortnite in months, maybe almost a year.
It's probably been a year since the last time.
I immediately spent $20 on V-Bucks so I could buy a stupid fucking Naruto skin.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We actually, part of it was to talk about the kind of the pop culture around it for this episode, but also we realized Rainie, who unfortunately is not here for this, had never played before.
Oh yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
And she was a natural. She was.
Well, she has some. Yeah, she played a lot of Halo and Call of Duty in her day. So that was what we were doing in high school. That's what we played.
Slag it off.
Yeah, exactly. No, not in high school. We didn't do that. I mean, we didn't do anything in high school. We slept at our desk.
Extra slacky.
I have a picture of 3 of us asleep at our desks.
Who took the picture?
Well, I did, but it was 3 of my friends, and then after I took the picture, I went back to sleep.
Amazing.
Because I got up and thought I was the only one asleep and realized that Rainie and 2 of our other friends are asleep. So I turned around and took a picture.
Evidence.
It wasn't during study hall either, it was during calculus.
Who needs that?
Yeah. Anyways, to get off subject. Yeah, Rainie had never played before, and she had a great time. It was a lot of fun. We wanted to, post some, or capture some video footage of what we were doing, but it turns out I was playing on the Switch, and so you can't, for some reason they don't let you take recordings, and we don't actually have we didn't have anything set up for Wolfie to film their capture playing on the PC. So we may upload some of the screenshots I took of it, but I guess you'll find out. You'll have to tune into our YouTube
exactly
to see if we ever post those in our skins and everything. We didn't pick up a dub, but we came pretty close.
It's actually so rusty.
Yeah, we did pretty well. Yeah, exactly. We did pretty well for being so rusty. We have won before. I'll say that now for all you haters out there.
Yeah, we have a couple from before.
We have quite a few actually. Quite a few with you, and then quite a few of just my other friend, just duo queuing. We have quite a handful of before.
Yeah.
But something I wanted to talk about, and I kind of mentioned before, was I think it's really interesting how Fortnite, again, is, we keep talking about these pioneer things and the groundbreaking that they're doing, and that they're looping other games within their own.
Yeah.
So we touched on the skins, and relevant ones would be Cuphead, which is an indie game.
Yeah.
And what were some other ones?
The indie game that he almost lost his house to. Lucky, it worked out for him.
It did. Or I guess. There's Master Chief. That was one I forgot to write down. A Master Chief from Halo, and just other pop culture things like Star Wars, Marvel. A lot of Marvel and DC skins. A lot of Star Wars skins. Rick and Morty was another one I forgot to write down.
Yeah.
That I'm just now remembering. So I think it's really interesting that they're taking these pop culture shows and movies and other games specifically and looping it within their own, not only game, but their own canon for the game.
Yeah. And the way they're doing it, it's different, or at least the way it's presented. It seems to be different than the way you'd normally do a crossover, where
something like Smite.
Or no, even we think with Sony and Disney, it's like a heated conversation of who gets what and how it's supposed to be done. Whereas the Avengers and Fortnite crossover seems a lot more casual. They just happened across some people, some Marvel people. They talked it over and just go for it.
Yeah, it comes to expand on that. If you go watch a YouTube video about the lore or read about it, or if you already know it, the Marvel and DC characters play a heavy role in the lore of Fortnite.
Yeah.
And so it seems like the Epic Games got the IP to do, or they got the what are the words I'm looking for? The IP to the rights. Thank you. The IP rights to use it within their game, kind of how they saw fit. Right, and there's a big enemy, Galactus, that kind of causes a lot of problems, and he's a character from Marvel, a huge supervillain. And so they kind of reworked, or I guess added their own story with Galactus and the Avengers and Batman and Superman and all these people, DC and Marvel, and just added them within Fortnite, and now they're just a part of the lore forever.
Yeah. And
it's just really cool. I mean, I don't really have much to say on it besides that. It's just pretty simple. It's just pretty cool.
It's simple and cool.
Yeah, it's really well done. Like you said, there's a lot of other companies that do crossovers, like this, and they're always fighting, and fighting as in like how their IP can be used, what you can do with this IP, etc., etc., right? Um, and where this one, and maybe just it's because Fortnite is so popular.
Yeah.
But even still, like if Fortnite did something that Marvel wasn't happy with, they would have to, just let it slide because they let they use the IP. But I think everybody's been pretty freaking happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I think they were all excited about it, even the people on the Marvel end.
Yeah, if you know anything about Marvel, they're not normally too keen on letting their IPs go freely like that.
No Green Lantern cannot Fortnite dance.
So, but all the Avengers can now.
Oh yeah,
all the other ones, yeah. And so I'm really excited to see what they do next, and I hope they continue the concerts, the in-game events with people, the crossovers, all of it. I hope because I think they're doing a great job. Again, I've stated kind of just how impressive I think it all is, especially if you're just a fan of video games and the culture behind it becoming well, it's obviously now way more accepted than it used to be.
Yeah.
But even still, there's still always work to grow. And so I think Fortnite's actually doing a pretty good thing, regardless of the haters out there.
Exactly. Yeah, and before we run away from the Fortnite topic, as we have mentioned earlier, by the time this comes out, the finale of Chapter 2 will have happened. And so, we were going to use our future vision to predict exactly what happens in that finale, right here,
obviously.
Right now. And you're going to praise us for how right we are.
That's right. So why don't you give a really brief thing about what's happening like right now, like as we're waiting for the finale to drop, what's not all the lore, but what's happening right now in game, like when we played last week or whatever it was.
So right now in game, we're like post alien attack where they've thrown down all these cubes that because the aliens are there for the 0 point, which is the big powerful thing that lives under that was previously.
It's like the singularity of the universe.
Yeah, that thing. The cubes cause these random, like, alien monsters to spawn, and then in the middle of the map there's this big pyramid thing with some big mysterious person, like, floating right above it, a timer counting down, and in the trailer, it's very clear that the end of the finale is going to be related to whatever activates this pyramid bitch, and the main Fortnite people dealing with it. So,
you first.
I think that the alien being inside the pyramid will be they are gonna turn against the alien creatures that created it, and they're gonna see the 0 point, and they're gonna see the Fortnite inhabitants fighting against it to protect it, and be like, you know what? I actually vibe with the Fortnite residents more than I vibe with these aliens. So they're gonna turn against the aliens, and then it'll be a fight against its own creator. Anything to add, Lucas?
I think you're probably not too far off, to be honest. That's probably where I was gonna go. However, I also think Jonesy, kind of one of the main characters, will make his triumphant return.
Yeah, of course.
I also think the singularity will split and become multiple entities of its own right.
Right.
It's not unlike other games that have done that in the past. Or other storylines, I guess, is more appropriate, not just games. But whenever there's a sort of all-powerful force or collection or, something that controls the basis of everything, it's not uncommon that force is then split or divided among people or in various ways, yes, I'm kind of hearkening this to the Infinity Stones from Marvel. But again, Marvel is already a big thing within the lore,
True.
so I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that.
True.
I'm also kind of thinking of it like Pokemon, where the god of the universe creates 3 entities to kind of oversee the entire universe as he just fucks off.
Yeah.
He like creates the universe. Arceus just creates the universe, makes like 3 guardians, and then he's just like, okay, bye.
Bye.
And he like goes to a different universe or something.
Amazing.
I don't remember exactly, but it's essentially what it is. So yeah, I think the singularity will like. I mean, they've played out this thing for so long. I think they've got to do something else with this, something new with the singularity.
Yeah.
Or what's it called in
the 0
game?
point?
0 point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the singularity is like what it is outside of the game.
Same concept.
Yeah.
Different
I'm just
name.
Synonyms.
Yeah. I also think in terms of the live event, I think they might do like some like live alternate realities, like different parts of the maps become alternate realities that you can pass through. Almost like you can witness them, but they're not quite there yet because they're all colliding, all the different ones.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. I wouldn't mind if they brought back different sections of the map.
Yeah, like that.
Like like season 1 Tilted Towers, and then like season 4 different location. I don't remember. Now,
different location.
Different
My favorite
location.
Fortnite drop spot.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
Come back.
No. Bring back Tomato Town. That's the one.
Oh yeah.
Tomato Town. I play as the Tomato King in Fortnite, making pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah. So bring back Tomato Town. Yeah. So I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Same.
There was a lot of stuff that happened in game that we weren't aware of. That was in Fortnite. We didn't realize that there was like working actual cars.
Oh yeah.
There were
they're
dinosaurs.
Like modern cars too.
Yeah, they're just like cars you could drive.
Rolling up in my sedan as Naruto.
Get in, bitch. We're going shopping. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited to see what happens.
Same.
Well, I had a lot of fun playing. So if you haven't tried Fortnite, I would take our suggestions and just play like you're a kid again, because that's kind of that's the best way to do. Don't care about winning, just care about having fun.
Yeah. And praise us for how correct we'll be with this theory down in the comments below.
We're 100% right. I'm
that's
like,
right.
Epic Games literally just texted me like 5 minutes before we started recording.
They were begging us not to tell you, but
I just can't deny the audience what they deserve to know.
Exactly. We're too wholesome.
Yeah, I'm a slave to the views and the clout.
Yeah. Love us some clout.
Yeah. All right. I think that about wraps up. Anything else you want to say? Finalize our thoughts?
That's all.
Yeah. What was the funniest thing that happened when we were playing?
Oh,
because we can't share our footage, but
true.
Unfortunately, so what was something? You think of it. I'll say what I have.
I've got. Oh, you go ahead.
Okay. So we were on. I don't remember the location. Not relevant. We're in a fucking pickup truck, and we're driving across this bridge, and we're like cresting over a hill towards the bridge. And we see dinosaurs, like we mentioned in the beginning, and I'm like, I start screaming, "It's Jurassic Park!" And Rainie and I both just belt out the anthem, like the da na 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 na.
No, we're gonna get copyright claimed.
Yeah, don't worry. I only said it was less than 5 seconds. It's fine. They can't do anything about that. So yeah, it was really, really funny. Yeah. And I tried, that was actually when I found out you can't film, because I tried to record that specific section. I did take several screenshots, so maybe we might end up put those on in our YouTube upload, but maybe we won't, and you'll just have to imagine us doing it. It depends how ambitious we are that week.
We'll see.
So yeah, I think that was definitely one of my favorites. What was yours?
Mine, we were over in something hotel. We're by the water and with the high rises. And then Rainie was down, but I retrieved her. But then you were shot down. I was gonna try and come back for your card. And there's a new item in the game called like the shadow fish or whatever. And I was under the impression it made you invisible, like completely invisible. So I eat it and I sprint directly at someone in a turret thinking, I'm about to surprise the shit out of this person. They turn around and they just fire on me. And I'm like, oh fuck. Like, they can still see you.
It turns you like kind of like a shadowy, smoky thing.
Yeah.
And then you just get like increased speed and jump ability, and I could like tell that you thought you were like completely invisible. You're just hauling ass like this humongous turret.
Beeline.
And I had that was another one I tried to film. I had a great angle of that. It was so funny.
What a shame. Lost forever.
You then just unload on your fucking Naruto looking ass.
And then I run away.
And then but you lived though. That was the best part. You lived on 1 HP.
I did. And I almost got away too, but they caught up to me. Someone did.
I almost got away if you weren't for you meddling kids.
Bullying me.
So yeah. Anyways, good stuff. Big fan of what they're doing. Screw you if you don't like it, you're wrong.
Yeah. Anti-fun brigade over there. Get with the fun.
I'm not saying Fortnite. You have to like Fortnite, but I think a lot more people should respect what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because they're doing something cool and you're not, so. Alright, moving on. Moving on to our next subject, we're bringing back our show and tell segment.
Yeah!
Where we're going to be talking about our top 3 most memorable games of all time.
Yeah.
And, we came up with this a little bit before we started recording, so if we, at a later episode, change our mind, go with it. That's why. But I think mine are actually pretty accurate to myself. I also did, Rainie did respond, so we have her answers. And so I guess, why don't you share first, and then I'll share Rainie's first, and then you do yours.
Okay.
So Rainie's, I asked her whatever her toast. What are her 3 most memorable games? And I'll read it verbatim from the text that she sent me. It says, fuck. Probably Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. BioShock, which I'm assuming just the first one, because she didn't say any other ones. So BioShock. And Halo Reach. Now, if you're at all familiar with Rainie, this is 100% probably true and right up her alley, because her favorite genre, or not genre, but franchise is Legend of Zelda. She's a big freak about those games. So am I, so it's okay.
Freaks together.
And I already mentioned that we played Halo and Call of Duty in high school, so Halo Reach was a good time. It's the best Halo game. I will not be taking questions. Actually, Halo 1 was pretty good, where you could kill someone. You could one-shot someone with a pistol across the map.
Wow.
Oh yeah, if it was a headshot, they died.
That's funny.
It was really good. And then I'm not a huge BioShock player, but
it looks neat.
Yeah, it's something. So those are hers. Unfortunately, I can't really say much about why they're her favorites, but I do know that she's been playing. She's played pretty much every Zelda game and most of the Halo games. So I know she's a big fan.
Take her word for it.
Yeah. So, Wolf, what do you got?
For me, not in any particular order, but there's Honeycam Studio. And if you haven't heard of that, it was like a off branch of Honey Pop, which was like a dating sim, but it was also like Bejeweled. But Honeycam Studio, it's like a clicker game where you run a cam girl service type thing.
I just googled it.
With some of the characters from the OG game, as well as some new ones. A lot of new ones. Oh, it's a lot of fun. Really stuck with me, as well as Markiplier's playthrough of it.
Oh, are these in any order?
Nah. Yeah, they're in any order.
So, no, they're not in any order.
I guess, as in they're not like top three.
As in they are in any order, but not an order.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not ranking them, is what.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the
all right.
That's the gist of it.
You can tell that we really worked to share our brain cell on that one.
And then, secondly, we've got Oxygen Not Included. I forget the name of the studio that made it, but it was a indie game that was in production for lots and lots of years. But it's a game where you play. It's a like management sim where your colony has landed on inside a planet, and you need to not only build your way out of it, but make sure everyone survives, grow your numbers, etc., etc. And oxygen is not included, and that's like the main challenge of the game is creating consistent oxygen.
I remember you talking about this one when you finally got to play a good amount of it.
Yeah. I always go running back to it when I can. And then finally, this one's gonna throw everyone for a loop, but Just Dance Disney Party 2.
I was about to scream out Patapon.
Patapon! That one I just really liked. It's not exactly memorable, but I adore it. But yeah, Just Dance Disney Party 2. This one's only memorable because at the time I had a sort of internship with Ubisoft, and they had me test various mechanics of that game. And it led to a domino effect of me suddenly getting to a bunch of random Disney media, such as Descendants and Descendants 2, the movie about like the children of like the Disney heroes and villains. Like what's her face, Maleficent's kid, Cruella de Vil's kid, and that actor actually died. So
I didn't know any of them had kids.
Well, they're not canon. They're only canon in the Descendants universe. But, yeah, great movie. Love the songs. And yeah, those are the top 3 memorable games for me.
No, those are pretty good.
What about you? Tell us your soul.
Okay, well, 2 of mine are somewhat obvious, and I do have one that'll throw everybody off, just like your last one. So I'll save that one. Not in any order. Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PlayStation 2. That was actually, I got, when I was a kid, I got the PlayStation as a Christmas present, and this was the game that came with it, or at least the game I got with it. One of the games, I should say. Been a Star Wars fan pretty much my whole life, and so this game was great. It had a lot of, it's way better than the current Battlefront games, I'll tell you that.
Shade.
Yeah, listen, it's acceptable shade.
I see.
I didn't say they were bad. I just said this one was better. But the other ones are bad. Ha. Yeah, so I just like this one. It's kind of one of the games that got me into gaming in general. And it's I played it a lot as a child with my cousin, who was much better than me.
Of course.
Yeah. That's how it always goes. So another one, again, I mean, these are all from my childhood, so it's kind of why they're so memorable. But this one actually got me into one of my favorite franchises, which is Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass.
Nerd!
Yep, as you can tell, Rainie and I both like Legend of Zelda series. Phantom Hourglass was my first Legend of Zelda game that I've ever played. Slugs. It was the first game I bought when I had a DS. And then I went back and played pretty much all the other ones on every console I could find.
Wow. Committed.
And yeah, but that was always my favorite one because most people, whatever like first game that they play, if it has multiple different versions, they always think the one they played is the best. If you ever played a Pokemon game, you always think the gen that you played is the
Makes sense.
So anyways, those are both pretty good. And I'll give you 2 guesses as to what the game is, and I'll give you a hint first.
Okay.
It is a PS2. I'll give you a couple hints. It is a PS2 game. Because again, this actually was the first like actual video game console game that I ever played. I think I had a Game Boy before. before the PlayStation. But this was my first console that I ever got.
Yeah.
Really dating myself on this, but and then this was the first game, and then shortly after I was given Battlefront 2.
Oh.
And so it's a PS2 game, and it is based off of a hit movie franchise.
Is it SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom?
No, that was a computer game that I did play though.
Oh, you got it on computer.
No, it was my cousin's. Yeah, I went over to his house and played it. That would be in my top 5 though, I think. Because I played a lot of that one too. It's a hit movie. It also had a TV show, and it is a cartoon movie and game. And it was animal based.
Over the hedge.
No.
What?
That's pretty good though. It isn't. That's DreamWorks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then this game is also from DreamWorks.
Is it Shrek?
No. I have another anecdote. I had a there's a Mario Kart version, but it was all Shrek. and it was on the Wii. I don't know what it was called.
What is it?
Hang on, now it was called Shrek Smash and Crash Racing. So it was basically Mario Kart for Shrek. Anyways, so one of my top 3 most memorable games was DreamWorks Madagascar for the PlayStation 2. This game, I put in an absurd amount of hours into, because it had an ass load of collectibles. It's not a lot now, but it used to be.
Right.
Every level had a ton of collectibles to get. You could unlock outfits for the characters.
Wow.
You could unlock different power-ups. They had cutscenes from the movie.
They had it all.
They had everything. They had the voice acting. They had mini games. You could play shuffleboard. Yeah, it was. It doesn't really hold up now, but it was a fantastic game at the time.
I bet.
Yeah, it's not a gem. Well, it was, but not anymore.
True.
The PS2 graphics don't really hold up. All right, we have to.
Wait! I have a fourth one I'd like to add, which is.
Oh yeah. Well, hang on. We have to put this right now. We have to put this on the YouTube in the video, because that's a clip from the game. It is Mort T-posing.
Amazing. I'll do it.
Yeah. Anyways, what's your fourth?
My fourth. This one's kind of memorable, but it's also more the one that got away. It's Rhythm Heaven. It's a game from Japan. It was only on Nintendo DS, and I played it once as a child on someone else's DS, and I adored it. But then, foolish me, when given the choice between a DS and a PSP, I got a fucking PSP, and it didn't have Rhythm Heaven.
You're a fool.
But then years later, 21 years old, I was in Japan, I got a Nintendo DS, and I bought Rhythm Heaven. Reunited. And it felt so good. And I broke the fucking DS beating the game. The screen is fucked. But yeah.
I think my fourth or honorable mention, or whatever you want to call it, it would either be... Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm looking something up really quickly.
I see. I'll just stare until T-posing Mort's eyes.
Okay. No, I've... T-posing eyes. Yeah. You're a freak.
Nah.
Okay. So I have 2. I have 2 honorable mentions, or whatever you.
Okay.
One of them we already mentioned is SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. And so I think that one would be number 4. If not, I'm not going to rank the top 3, but I think that one would be number 4.
Yeah.
And then number 5 would be one of my first Game Boy games, would be Disney's Kim Possible Revenge of Monkey Fist.
Amazing. A relic!
It is memorable because I could not beat it. I got stuck in one spot every time I tried to play. And could not, for the life of me, figure out how to get through it. And this was granted, this was 8 or 10-year-old me or something.
The time before looking up walkthroughs.
Yeah, that was not a thing. So, again, another game that doesn't really hold up. The graphics are even worse. Well, it's a Game Boy game, so, there's not much to expect. But it's even worse than the Madagascar game.
Yeah. Man. Battle for Bikini Bottom. I played that one on GameCube.
That got a remaster.
It did.
Yeah. It to be honest, it looked about the same.
It did, yeah.
It didn't
Ran
look
about
that
the same too, apparently.
It didn't look that different, and the quality of it was about the same. Still just as many glitches as before.
Which is real funny.
Oh yeah. Anyways, let us know what your most memorable games are, and like us, once you start thinking about it, you'll probably have a lot of memories pop up.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of the whole point. It was really good. I forgot about a couple of those until I really had to delve into the crevasse of my brain.
Came back to haunt you.
Yeah. There's another one. There's a Scooby-Doo Game Boy game that was excellent. I don't remember the name, but it was a good one. That one actually has a lot of speedrunners.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so a lot of people, because there's so many glitches in that one too. And exploits and stuff. So, easy game to speedrun.
I see.
Anyways, let us know what your thoughts are on. Well, I guess we can start wrapping up here, and you can tell us, Wolf. You can let them know what they should be responding on.
Alrighty, everyone. You can respond on Twitter, Instagram, and in the YouTube comments below what your top 3 or 5 most memorable games were. We'd love to hear it. You can tweet it at us at ridiculous_cast on both Instagram and Twitter, or you can send it to our private Twitters if you so desire. Lucas at 7AngryWasp, spelled with an E, and Rainbow Wolf, spelled with only one W.
Oh, one more thing. We are now, a humble brag for us, we are now on YouTube, on Spotify,
Woo-hoo.
on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google, what is it? Google Podcasts. We're on Amazon Music.
Woo!
And we are in the process of getting on Pandora.
Leedle.
So, if you have anybody that isn't listening, that uses those, make sure to let them listen.
And rate them if that's an option on that site.
Yeah, exactly. Rate them, like them. If it's on YouTube, comment, subscribe.
Bing that ding.
Yeah, it helps us out. Tweet at us. Everything you got. Just unload it.
Yeah.
Anyways. You can finish the wrap up.
And thank you for tuning in to Your Ridiculous Episode 8. Have a happy holidays. Well, I guess we'll be saying that for the next few weeks, but say goodbye, Lucas.
Goodbye, Lucas.
Bye-bye.